Hello, hello. What's going on? Awesome party peeps. It's Dr. Sonia here with Jump First. If you are new here, we talk all things premium courses, whether it be face to face or online, how to package what it is that you know, turn that into an online course. Again, whether it be online or face to face, okay? Turn it into a course, package it into mentorship and luxury coaching programs. If that interests you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like button, bell notifications so you know when more episodes like this drop and we can hang out live. Speaking of packaging your knowledge, I know that in today's age and time, okay, 2025 going into 2026, we are in an age of almost endless, it feels like endless information. And so when it comes to packaging your courses, pro tip, it may feel like, who's going to buy this? Okay, there's information everywhere online. And this is where today's episode actually unpacks that now more than ever. And I was talking about this before COVID, but especially during COVID, and it's still prevalent today. We're just seeing an evolution of courses. Now more than ever, people are not paying for information. We have chat, right? We've got Google. We've got all sorts of AI tools, things that can just plug and play and do things for us. But what people are actually paying for when it comes to courses, premium and luxury coaching and mentorship brands and programs is they're paying for a connection. All right. So if you've ever gone through the process, and I know that I have, I know that this has been true of some of my clients who have, I've had some who have joined the program, left the program, and then joined again. Okay. And it was because they were looking for the connection. They were looking for something to help them build, someone to hold them accountable, community, those sorts of things. That's what people are paying for today, not just the information. Okay. So when you package your courses, you're not just packaging information, you're packaging connection, you're packaging accountability, you're packaging a way for people to actually get out of their own way, essentially. So when I've had clients who have joined my programs and then gone somewhere else, okay, or left the program, and then came back, all right, that was what they were rejoining for, was because if you've ever felt this sense of, and it's happened to me again, like there's been times in this journey where I've had a consistent mentor and there's been times where I have not had a consistent mentor, and I can definitely see the difference in my productivity and how I move my goals forward. It's not about the information necessarily that the mentor is providing, although those strategies are timeless, okay, very valuable, and it's not something that I feel like you could learn it on your own. You could fail a lot, or learn the lessons a lot and then struggle your way to success. Or you could just like learn from somebody who already has done the thing and they could just give you the strategy and that will put you like 10 steps ahead. Okay. And so that's my favorite thing. Yes, the strategy, but also like my top favorite thing is the connection piece that comes with that, is being able to hop on a call or to go face to face to a retreat or a mastermind and see my mentors and interact with them and feel like I'm a part of a community, feel like I know that there are people behind me who are cheering me on, who are excited about my success and I theirs, right, in return. And so that's the piece. That's the piece that we're going to see more of in 2025, 2026 and beyond, is the connection piece. You have to remember that when you're selling your courses and programs, as well as when you're packaging them and delivering them, teaching them. Okay, very, very important. Hey, Eric, it's good to see you on. I appreciate you being here. If you guys are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like button, bell notification so you know when new episodes like this drop and we can hang out live. I love this community. Also, welcome back if you are returning. Let me know in the chat what time it is or where you are currently watching from. I always like to see the global reach of these episodes. All right, so let's get into it. And so I wanted to bring that and put that here real quick. Also, I need to notate here, that is the piece that, and I talked earlier about my clients some who come in and then they leave and then they rejoin because they're like, hold on. Like, first of all, I tried another program, right? They're always honest with me and I appreciate the transparency. Like I tried something else, it didn't really work, but also it wasn't the same vibe. It wasn't the community aspect. It wasn't the accountability aspect. And they also have notated that when they have left, the productivity decreased, right? Like they found themselves stalling out on their vision, their goals, and what it was they actually wanted to accomplish. Not that the vision ever leaves. And let me know if this has happened to you. I know it's happened to me, right? It doesn't ever leave, but we find ways and things to fill empty spaces with, right? Like to fill our time with. And a lot of times it's busy work. A lot of times it's meaningless things, like things that feel and seem important, but in the grand scheme of things, is it actually moving you towards your goal? Is it actually moving you towards your vision? Is the vision clear? All right. Is the goal concise? Those are things that my clients have reported who have come back and rejoined the program they see in clarity when you have a mentor, when you have a community, when you have a group of people around you who are rooting for your success, but also help you get to the nitty gritty of, okay, this is what I'm doing, okay, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to move this thing forward. There's a heightened sense of belief in yourself, all of these things, confidence that comes with having someone else, specifically a mentor or coach, someone who has the result that you want, holding that vision for you, okay, even in times where you feel like the self-doubt is coming in, the insecurities are coming in, those sorts of things. And I went to I talk about this often. I went to a Tony Robbins, it wasn't his seminar. I went to one of my mentors, Russell Brunson, was having a mastermind. I went in person. And Tony Robbins was one of the speakers. And I think it was like a 3-day thing or a 4-day thing. But Tony was one of the speakers. And I remember him saying, imposter syndrome is not real and you need to get rid of it. Okay, delete it from your vocabulary. Now, here's what I've come to understand. At the time, I was like, okay, he might be onto something, right? And then I went back and I started thinking about it. And I was like, well, at the beginning of my journey, I definitely felt like an imposter. Okay, I felt like, did I actually belong here? Was this actually, could I do this thing? Even though all the achievements, all the accomplishments, right? Us as high performers, high achievers, that happens to us all the time. You have that sense of self-doubt. And so I started talking to my community that I was building about it. And I'm like, what do you guys think about imposter syndrome? Do you feel it? And they're like, yeah, definitely. And I started to rewrite what it actually is. Like, at the root of imposter syndrome is insecurity. And a lot of times we don't want to name it. As high performers, high achievers, that's really what it is. It's insecurity. Yes, we mask it as self-doubt. We mask it as, oh my God, imposter syndrome. But it's just, you're insecure about the thing that you're doing. You're insecure about this version of yourself that you're becoming. Hey, Nicholas, good to see you starting the week off strong. Yes, absolutely. Brenda, hello. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good to see you on. Let me know, y'all, where you're watching from or what time it is where you are currently watching from. I love to see the global reach. And so I just needed to put this here because a lot of times, like I said, as high performers, high achievers, we don't want to name the fact that it's just insecurity that's stopping us from taking the next step. I need you to really evaluate this week where you currently are in process of achieving your goals. Don't judge yourself, okay? Don't beat yourself up if you are not making the progress that you actually want to make, but it is important that you clarify where you are in the process, and you also clarify what's holding you back, what's stopping you from reaching the next level, reaching what it is that you actually want to achieve, or even just taking some steps towards and being productive towards the goals that you have set for yourself. What is it that's stopping you? A lot of times, like I said, we label it imposter syndrome, but if you get real with yourself, it's the insecurity. It's the insecurity of feeling like people are going to judge you. It's the insecurity of feeling like, are you supposed to be here? Who's going to listen to you? Who's going to buy the thing? It's all of that. And really it comes down to, when you start to think about like, who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? It's fear of judgment. Okay, it's like that insecurity, fear of judgment, and I need us to really overcome that. And the only way to overcome that is by taking action, is by executing. All right, we have to do something. You have to take action. You can't just keep taking in the information, consuming the information. Like I said earlier, there's so much of it out here. You can do that for days, months, years on end. And maybe you have. I know that I did when I first got started. I was just consuming information, a professional information consumer. Give it all to me. And this was something that I had learned through traditional education, right? Of just study, regurgitate, study, regurgitate, right? It was like that thing. But entrepreneurship is not just study, regurgitate, right? It's take action. It's you have the information available to you, but what is stopping you from taking the action? And if it is insecurity, if it is fear of judgment, if it is not being surrounded by a community and people who believe in your vision, I'm encouraging you to just step out and get a mentor. Okay, like for me, that was the piece and the key that unlocked, okay, let me take my next step. Let me stop fronting. Let me stop, fronting on myself. Like, because at the end of the day, I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. I'm here to be a resource, but also I'm here to prove to myself that I am capable of doing all of the things that I set out to do, right? Like, you don't have to prove it to anybody else. You gotta prove it to you first. That's it. First and foremost and only. That's literally it. And I'm also a huge proponent of, you don't leave with the gift still in you. Okay. And I forget who said that, like, don't die with your song still in you or something like that. There's been so many iterations of that and versions of that. But that's how I feel, right? I feel like we have gifts and talents for a reason. We have God-given gifts and talents, and it is our duty to not just express those things, but to continue to hone those things. Like, yes, we were born with certain gifts, we were born with certain talents, but also, like, You get better by practicing, right? So you don't just, it's not about just giving the gift out or expressing the talent. And people always say natural talent, natural gifts. Oh, he's a natural or she's a natural. And it's like, yeah, but those people also practice. Like you got to practice to get better, right? So you have the gift and it's your job to capitalize on that. It's your job to double down on that. Like, okay, this comes natural to me or naturally to me or natural to me, right? Let me double down on that. Let me practice on it. Let me get better at those things. Again, something that's different from what we learn in traditional education is like, oh, strengthen your weaknesses. Even what I learned in corporate and for a long time, what I was telling my people in corporate, because I was doing like recruiting, sales, if you don't know my background, recruiting, sales, helping people get jobs, those sorts of things, right? I remember back in the day, somebody told me they used to call them like headhunters or something like that. I don't really know. But I used to do a lot of recruiting. So helping people to fix their resumes and apply for jobs. And I was very successful doing that. I always negotiated the best, pays for my people, got them the gigs, and then they turned into full-time positions, permanent positions, all of those things. Hi, Hannah. It's good to see you on. Amazing Grace. Hello, hello. It's good to see you. Grow a Garden. Hello. It's good to see you. And so I used to tell people all the time, like, what are your weaknesses? Like, we need to turn those into strengths. And it's like, no, you just need to strengthen your strengths. Just need to highlight and strengthen your strengths. That is your job. And then be a resource for other people. When you learn something through your life experiences, specifically, it's not just traditional education, knowledge regurgitate, right? You take the knowledge, you learn something from it, you apply it in your own life, and then you can teach it. Like teaching is the highest form of the application of knowledge, which is wisdom, in my opinion. And so when you're able to teach something, it's like you got that thing, okay? Like that's yours forever. That's a gem forever. And the things that you feel like are so normal and natural to you often are not for everybody else. I took my gift of teaching for granted for a very long time. I was like, oh, anybody can do that. No, they can't, right? It's something now that I get to teach, that I get to show other people how to do. How do you package what you know? How do you package your life experiences? How do you teach other people? Giving advice and teaching are two different things, all right? Two different things. And so I need to bring that real quick because again, you've done enough consuming. You've done enough trying to read all the information, hear all the information. It's time for you to execute. And if you are having trouble executing, get real with yourself about why, because usually it is insecurity. Usually it does come down foundationally to fear of judgment. Get with a mentor, get with a coach, get with a community of people who can believe in you, okay, who do believe in you and are helping you move forward. And then you reciprocate that back. All right. So I appreciate y'all so much. I just wanted to bring that to encourage some folks. LA, Nicholas, is good to see you out in LA. Okay. I haven't been there in a minute. Business trip. Awesome. I'm wishing you safe travels for sure and a very successful trip. Other than that, that's all I have for today, y'all. JumpFirstAcademy.org. You already know, shameless plug. If you're interested in learning how to package your knowledge, your wisdom, your life experiences into the format of courses or luxury coaching and mentorship brands, there's a free training over there, less than 30 minutes at JumpFirstAcademy.org. Less than 30 minutes, no fluff. There are case studies as well as testimonials and things that help you start to apply what it is that you're learning. Again, I'm about executing and implementing, okay, what you're learning, not just taking the information. So there are also free resources to help you implement and paid resources to help you implement. You determine your pathway to success. Once you go through that training, you'll also have an opportunity to schedule a strategy session with me to figure out how we can help you inside of our community, Jump First Academy, to help you move forward. All right. Again, jumpfirstacademy.org to get started. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like button, bell notifications so you know when new episodes like this drop. And I will catch y'all back here tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Bye, y'all.